Hey, everybody, it's Doug Green, and I'm the publisher of Technology Reseller News. And I'm very pleased to have with us Corey Stoker, who's the Vice President of Support at SkySwitch. Corey, thank you for joining me today.
Thank you for having me, Doug.
So, we're in the midst of a multi part podcast series. We're talking about SkySwitch. We're talking about the SkySwitch partner journey, and we've been discussing with various parts of the SkySwitch team what that looks like from really the moment you're just sort of thinking about signing up, and maybe you're even partnered up with SkySwitch on an ad hoc basis to bring in a new customer, all the way to the other end, onboarding and afterwards, where you're a mature partner and yet you're still, engaged with SkySwitch on new things. Today, we're actually here to talk to Corey about something we've talked about, which is support. So, Corey, you're the Vice President of Support at SkySwitch. What does that look like? What does that actually mean? What do you do?
I do a bit of everything around SkySwitch, from engineering to support, but support is my complete focus on all levels, making sure that the customer experience is better than anywhere else you can receive support. So I'm looking at the entry-level support to the highest level of escalations. I'm looking over the team to make sure our team is advancing and always saying the right thing, always doing the right thing in the eyes of the customer and by us.
You tucked in a comment there that I thought I might talk about at the end, but we'll do it at the beginning, which is you just basically said that maybe even the smallest concern is a concern.
It is a concern. We represent our customers' labels, our customers' brands. We're the back end invisible people kind of taking responsibility for any issue that comes up. So if it's a concern for one of our customers, it's a concern for us.
And this is a very critical thing, especially with real-time communications, especially voice, that no one kind of recognizes when it's all working well, but you sure notice it if it's not working.
You definitely notice when it's not working well. There's unfortunate times where it's not. There could be a customer network issue or something that pops up, and we do our best to help our customer in those situations. When we pick up the phone and we're on the phone talking to a partner of ours who's stuck in a situation, whether they put themselves in it or there were some other circumstance that got them in it, we're a part of their team. We consider ourselves one of their team members until that issue is resolved.
So this is a delicate thing, because essentially you're branding SkySwitch by helping a different company actually advance their brand.
Yes, it's a different thing. It took me a while to get used to as I started in this business, but we are concerned with the customer's brand more than ours in support situations.
So, Corey, it must happen that in, day-to-day operations, an end user, final customer, actually gets into a situation where some part of the UCaaS system, real-time communications, isn't working. I'm guessing the partner has maybe tried to do a fix, which hasn't worked. Now they've reached out to support. And now you got two tasks on the table. You've got to make him look good and preserve his brand.
Yes, and that's an urgent issue for us. If there's any sort of disruption to an end customer's daily business with telecommunications, that's our problem. We would expect that our partners have done some first level troubleshooting and can help us gather information, but we're going to get the right people on the issue to make sure that we're resolving it as quickly as possible for them and make sure that they know what is happening, why it happened, and we're always going to reach in to find the actual problem, not a symptom of a problem or something along those lines. We're looking to also educate our partners so that they look and actually represent that they know what the issue was and that they can have confidence with their end customer.
And it must also require also over time confidence in you. In other words, that the partner knows they can reach out with confidence, that you're going to make them look good, which is a big deal. And at the same time, actually fix the problem.
Yes, we are committed on all levels of our support team from tier 1 to tier 3. There's direct access to our management team in the support infrastructure. There's direct access to me. Our direct phone numbers are available in our documentation where our partners can reach out to us if they have something that is a little bit different and they need different insight. They can reach out to any of us directly.
One thing I'm hearing, and I've heard this across this whole series of podcasts, is the emphasis on people versus platform. Platform matters, the website matters, other resources. So many companies in our space have moved to pushing all matters onto the website, whereas you guys keep on saying, I'll find you the right person, I'll put you in touch with the right individual. We're going to find a personalized, curated approach to this situation.
Yes, we do our best to make it easy to get a hold of somebody or the person that you need to get a hold of to resolve your issue. And so you can get back to operating your business. And we go at great lengths to make sure that we're easily reachable, that support is not hard to find, that you can call in, you can open tickets, you can email, you can chat with us on Slack if you're a partner of ours. There's a lot of ways to get into our team and get support directly for your customers.
Now, one of the ongoing, it's not really funny, but one of the ongoing things in the technology world since day one has always been blaming the other guy for a foul up. Not many platforms and things are in service at any site. A lot of things were never really designed to work together. How do you deal with problems that come up that really weren't of SkySwitch's making, not even a partner platform that was of your making?
We do our best in every situation, and in situations where there's a bigger problem, we're focused on transparency. We're focused on getting the information out quickly to our partners. If there's some sort of internet disruption out, we are jumping on it. We have all sorts of alerting and mechanisms to let us know, and hopefully that the goal is that we will know about it and inform our partners before they start getting phone calls from their end customer.
I'm glad you brought that up because I think people have done studies about this, but I think everyone can recognize this in their own life, that kind of empty feeling when you have zero information and you've got a situation versus you still have the situation, but you know exactly why it's happening and you have a pretty good idea of how it's going to be resolved.
Yeah, it's a feeling that nobody wants to have. You don't want to be stuck in a situation where you don't know what to do.
Right.
We have your backs for that. Our entire team, whether it goes from me or even up to our CTO, will get on to a problem if no one else can resolve it.
So even you mentioned here internet disruption. You have an outage. It's not connected to SkySwitch in any way, but it's an outage. You've made the customer aware. He's made his customer aware. So at least the information's out there, and that probably makes a big difference.
Yes, we'll also work with our partners on workarounds if there are workarounds on site. If there's other routes or we can help deploy some forwarding, or there's all sorts of different situations that need creative solutions.
So you guys will actually roll up your sleeves, even if it's not your situation, not your issue. You guys will help the customer and his customer basically do a workaround, get back on board a little bit and so on.
Yeah, if one of our customers or one of their customers is impacted, we're going to do the best we can to support them in the situation, regardless of whose problem it is.
So, Corey, even in the last few days, have you had a situation where, you had to go an extra step with a partner with the situation they were in?
Definitely. There was a case just a couple days ago. It's actually been going on for about a week, but we had a successful installation from one of our partners who had sold a 500 seat deal. And one of the things the end customer needed was to use poly devices. And this particular partner just had no experience with poly devices. They had never plugged one in or seen the GUI or worked on the configuration on the devices. So we were able to jump in, help them through a few phone calls, give them some examples, and had a very successful install with that customer up and running now very quickly. I think that goes above support that most people would give. We jumped in and trained him where he needed training, even though a lot of this is available through our documentation, through poly documentation, and it's something that can be learned. He needed it quickly, and we successfully saw it through.
So, Corey, as we wrap up our podcast, I forgot to ask, when I'm a partner of SkySwitch's, am I able to reach out to someone personally anytime?
You can. Our preference is that you go through our support team and through our ticketing system or through our call queues. But if you need to reach out to me or one of our managers or one of our tier 3 technicians, the information is available where you can get to them.
So it's always the case that it's a weekend or national holiday that a crisis breaks out. You guys are there for me if that happens.
Yes, we are fully staffed 24/7. Really 24/5. We have around the clock staffing, and 24/7 we have people available who will respond very quickly to any calls that come in for support. So we're always looking to reach out and help out the partner.
Corey, I want to thank you for joining me today and being part of this podcast series and giving people a little bit of insight into what actually happens if I'm a partner when I need SkySwitch support. I want to encourage everybody who's listening to listen and watch the rest of our podcast series. This is really interesting to her. Corey, where can we learn more about SkySwitch and SkySwitch's approach to support?
So you could look at skyswitch.com. You could also check out our documentation, docs.skyswitch.com, which has a lot of open documentation, kind of highlighting out a lot of the support we give. Some of it is closed off and you actually have to be a partner to have access, but we go as far as we can to try to help you. And documentation is a good place that shows that.
Well, good. I hope everyone does check that out, especially if you're shopping around to think about next new moves here in 2025. But for now, Corey, thank you very much indeed for joining me today.
Thank you so much, Doug.